oh look, it's another one. Alright, hey guys, back again to talk about Despicable Me 4, which movie that came out a couple weeks ago. I just finally saw it last week, earlier this week, so I know I can finally talk about it. So, Despicable Me 4 is obviously the fourth entry in the series. I've never been crazy about. I think at best these movies have just been okay. I know I really hated the Minion movies, and the last one in particular I think I called a soulless cash grab. And I feel like this one, I'm not going to say it's soulless. I don't want to be mean about this one because I do recognize, like, okay, this is for kids. This is for little kids. There's nothing overtly offensive about it. There's nothing, I mean, there's still definitely, like, it's still a cash grab. They're making this because they know Minions are still, like, their strongest property and they want to milk that for all it's worth. So there is definitely a certain level of made by committee to this film, but I'm not going to say there's no imagination at all through the entire thing. There are, like, legitimately imaginative, like, set pieces and, like, scenery and like, gadgets and shit like this series has always had, and, like, those stuff is still kind of fun. But before I get ahead into all that, let me go briefly over the story. So this one finds Gru once again, and now he has his own son, Gru Jr., and everything seems going well until an old nemesis from college named Maxime Lamal, there you go, who was like his old adversary from school, that now is a weird cockroach man, sure, that he successfully gets captured, but he gets free from jail and decides he wants to get revenge on Gru for capturing him. So the anti-villain league puts him up in a safe home that's kind of middle of nowhere town, and he has to kind of blend in and be a normal person as best he can, while Maxime actually tries to hunt him down. So that's the basic setup for the story. And again, it's a hard movie to talk about because on one hand, it's not like there's nothing really here to be ultra angry about, and it feels kind of pointless to drum up rage for this kind of film. That being said, there's also nothing particularly nothing about it particularly stands out. It is a pretty shallow script. It's a pretty shallow kids film, but it's also like they've always been that way, so it feels hard. It feels weird to get mad about it now. It's not this is like lower quality than the other ones. If it's nothing else, it's kind of the same. There's some moments of sincerity that were nice every now and again, but the rest of it just kind of feels like bright lights, bright colors, big explosions, big set pieces for kids. And the kids I was in the audience with seem to enjoy it, so it's clearly doing something right. There's like 2-3 subplots that one of which kind of disappears out of nowhere. So kind of like there's one where Kristen Wiig's character becomes a hairdresser and fucks it up really bad for one customer, and the customer finds her later in a grocery store, but then it just kind of stops there and never comes back again. So that seemed kind of just a way to pad the time for the movie. There is a scene, like there is a whole subplot with Gru and the neighbors who seem much more pretentious, and I'm pretty sure one's played by Stephen Colbert. In fact, let me fact check that because I'm just curious. Of course, there's Will Ferrell as Maxime. I should have seen that coming. Who the fuck plays the... Yeah, it was Stephen Colbert. Okay. Played by Stephen Colbert, and how he's trying to warm up to him, just wait to appear normal, but the neighbor clearly wants nothing to do with him. And then they kind of go, like, they do something with that, and then it's kind of very abruptly dropped. They do have something else with the neighbor's daughter that does actually go somewhere. So, like, okay, that felt like it had a purpose, even if the whole purpose was seeming like, wow, these old people really don't know how to do it, don't they? My teenage sensibilities were stupid for doubting you. But even then, that's not a large enough presence in the film. But again, there's really nothing here to be ultra angry about. There's a side mission where the side plot where the minions get superpowers, and that becomes a thing, which goes about where you'd expect it to go, and then peters off until the final act. And it just feels kind of like an opportunity to sell toys. And that's kind of what this movie is overall. It just feels like a marketing ploy. It's just a way to sell Minions a little bit more, really push it down just a little bit harder, milk these things for all week you can possibly get out of them. I could tell, like, some people were at the very least trying to make it an enjoyable watch all the same, which is why I'm like, oh, this movie's terrible or anything like that. It's aggressively mediocre. And it didn't really get anything out of me personally, but there's also nothing inherently wrong with it. So it's a very safe film. There you go. It's a very safe film, not trying to break the mold, not trying to do anything special, not trying to go Pixar level. It knows its audience. It's catering directly to its audience. It's not as cynical as Minions 2. It's just perfectly adequate. For its target audience. So that's all I have to say about Despicable 4. Once again, if you guys feel like helping me out, because I'm currently out of a job, you can help me out at the Patreon link down below. I'm also going to post a video up later on, either this week or next week, to kind of highlight just other ways you can help the channel outside of that. Until then, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.